Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and hi. My name is Nur Aini Shazani binti Muhammad Syatibi. Matric is number 18 DEB17F 2017. So today I will present about my online presentation assessment method. So here have 3 questions. So for question number 1 is about risk management techniques and strategies. So this is the answer for question number 1. So A. Loss prevention. Loss prevention is the act of taking proactive measure to prevent or identify risks which if left unmitigated may result in certain claim expedition. University property. Prior projects have included surveillance cameras where frequency of theft is high, lockdown device for computers, and could include costs in creating a marketing program to mitigate this and similar losses. For the second is security. Security is the ongoing process to identifying these security risks and implementing plans to address them. Risk is determined by considering the likelihood that known threats will exploit vulnerabilities and the impact they have on valuable assets. Security assets decision making by applying appropriate controls effectively and consistently, adapting to change while safeguarding the delivery of business and service, improving resilience to threats, vulnerabilities and challenges, driving protective security performance improvement. Next is incorporation. Incorporation is the legal process used to form a corporate entity or company. A corporation is the resulting legal entity that separates the firm's assets and income from its owned and investors. Ways to manage is priorities, control growth, appoint a risk management team. So another one is copyright. Copyright means keeping your risk of using unauthorized third-party content to a minimum. It's a group effort that needs to be coordinated throughout your library, business or organization, and it's not always an easy effort. There is 3 steps in copyright. First is understand and identify, assess the degree of the risk, take action to keep risk to a minimum. So the point B for question number 1 is risk financing. Risk financing is the allocation of funding for the financial consequences of risk exposure, either through the retention of the risk self-insured or the transfer of risk through the purchase of the proper insurance coverage for the event and event organization. So next is the insurance. Insurance is a protection from financial loss. It is a form of risk management primarily used to hedge against the risk of a contingent or uncertain loss. So the third is holdbacks. Holdback is a sum of money withheld under certain conditions or goals have been reached. So next is a payment. Payment is the voluntary tender of money or its equivalent or of things of value by one party, such as a person or company, to another in exchange for goods or service provided by them or to fulfill legal obligation. The party making a payment is commonly called the payer, while the payee is the party receiving the payment. So the last one for the question number 1 is lien. A form of security interest granted over an item of property to secure the payment of a debt or performance of some other obligation. The owner of the property who grants the lien is referred to as the lienee, and the person who has the benefit of the lien is referred as the liener or lien holder. So next is the question for number 2. Number 2 is the risk management plan. So here is the point. First is weather. It will affect on an outdoor event. For example, event Tropical Fest will have a weather problem such as rain or storm. Contingency plan, make a backup plan for the event. Next point is a cancellation. Event has been cancelled for the last minute due to the spreading COVID-19. The event must be cancelled immediately for the safety. The contingency plan is provide a backup plan in the event being cancelled due to a natural disaster. So the third point is a labor disputes. There is always likely to be occurrence of event staff that go missing temporarily from their station. Contingency plan is roster more staff than are actually needed, so that there are a few spares that can be assigned to position anywhere. So next is the funding shortfalls. Tropical Fest is an event who have a funding shortfalls pay the application and medal because the target of participants did not reach our real target. So the contingency plan is create a real budget according to the level of the event requirements. Always try hard to find and accept sponsorship over though it was small given. Okay, next is the reduced funding. It is possible that the money provided for all the payment and expenses is insufficient. So the contingency plan for this is always taking notes for single resultant value, maximum, minimum expenditure of money. So so next is technology failures. May caused by people tripping over wires, faulty equipment, faulty electrical connections, missing components. So the contingency plan is have a backup sound system. The last one is the question for identify alternative for specific. First is carry out a risk assessment. By carrying out a risk assessment, you identify the areas that need to be addressed to ensure your event is safe. Number 2 is have a health and safety plan. You should have a clear health and safety plan if anything should happen. For example, for small event, you need to make sure that you have a qualified first aids on site and among your staff. So the last one is look at the electric and fire safety. Working with electricity is always risky. It is imperative that any electrical installation at your events, for example, Wi-Fi network, are carried out by qualified electricians. This is the last question for number 3. Number 3 is the risk management process. So here is the point number 1 for last question, which is the question like this: legal requirements and authorizations needed. So this is the point for this: legal documentation. Second is insurance companies. Third is regulatory authorities. And fourth is staff and stakeholders. So next is the types of insurance and coverage. So this is have 5 types of insurance. First is the health insurance. Second is life insurance. Third is property insurance. Fourth is auto insurance, and the last one is the disability insurance. So that's all from me. This is all for my slide. So that's all. Thank you.